Hey guys, welcome to LoveCast the BL Podcast reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing TharnType the series. I'm your host Alexa, and with me are my co-hosts Pixie and Coco.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello. So TharnType, Coco's going to give you a little intro on the series, and I just wanted to say that it's available for watching on Line TV and on Netflix as well. So Coco, tell us what it's about.
Okay, well, it starts off like Type, who is homophobic and very vocal about this. He does not hide the fact that he hates gays, and so happens to move in with Tarn, who is gay and doesn't hide it, and things develop from there. The love, hate, so something. No spoilers. So yeah, they're just moving together, and it's just they go to uni?
So my general thoughts about this show is this was the first one that got me back into BL. It was a year ago. I noticed everyone on K-pop Twitter was talking about it. So I ended up okay, well, we'll see what's it about. I had never seen any Thai shows in my life. So this was an interesting start. I remember when I watched it, I really liked it. I didn't think too much about what I was watching. It's just it's a romance. I didn't analyze anything about what was happening. I didn't think too much about it. And that made it good because Mew and Golf's chemistry is amazing. So that just makes the whole show I just could ignore or not ignore, because I didn't acknowledge a lot of the points that people have problems with. So my first impression of TharnType was I fell in love with it, and it was what made me watch everything else that was Thai BL and just got me into the whole community. So for that, I really love TharnType. But I do have afterthought after being in the community and learning more about the genre and about LGBTQ community and just everything. I have problems with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think a lot of people have stronger issues with it than I have. But I do see some stuff in it that's unnecessary. It didn't have to be there to drive the story. And it does have a good plot twist, but there's not a satisfactory tie-in for the end. I think that there's a lot of fantasy in this. Not in the sense of unicorns and fairy magic, but in the sense of it's not portraying what reality is. It's not portraying a real gay relationship, right?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff in it that wouldn't, any gay man would tell you, is not how it works. Right.
Yeah, we talked about the Ice Cube scene before in the past.
Oh my god.
Yes.
In this one, but just for one example.
Yes.
I'm sure most people, even if they haven't seen the show, have heard about that scene. Because I haven't seen it, and I knew about it even before we talked about it.
Yeah, I do think the series could probably have been better if Mame didn't have such a huge role in making it, to be honest, because she's very set in her story. And I think that she doesn't do enough research, and she's very set in her perfect fantasy world of BL that doesn't reflect real gay relationships. So, but like I said at the beginning, when I first saw it, it was amazing.
Yeah.
But on afterthought, it's not so good.
Yeah. I feel like you always have an attachment to those shows that kind of hook you into a genre or a type of community. So you're always going to have that attachment to it in that way, even if you realize now that the show is not perfect. Coco, what are your thoughts?
What about you, Coco?
Yeah, I was kind of the same as Pixie. The first drama Thai BL drama that I watched was Lovesick. And then I think maybe it was, what's the other one with?
Make It Right?
No.
Sodas?
Make It Right.
Make it
Make It
right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was maybe the second one, and then I was just like, then I was like back to K-dramas. So then TharnType was like the kind of the thing that I watched next, and I kind of like that kind of like fizzled out, and I think I found the Saber, and then I think I finished it, but I was a bit like going from Lovesick to TharnType, like a bit of a
Two
switch.
extremes.
That's sharp. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I agree with Pixie. Like, it's a very like fantasized way. Like, their relationship, like relationships are not like that. Like, someone, even like when you hear like of how the book bits in the book that aren't in the show, it's like very controversial, and like they don't happen like that. And anyone, no one would like go from. No one wants to get groped in their bed when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
but
seriously, it's like straight up sexual harassment without
yeah,
any repercussions for it, or any like it doesn't move the story forward either. Like, you could actually just write it differently and get the same
yeah,
result. I feel it's very lazy writing, or it's very fantastical writing. Like, it's the
yeah.
whole fantasy world.
Romanticized. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Mame was like really like hooked up on the sexual like side of it,
Yeah.
I think, which is what she relies on, I think, for most of it.
Mm.
But like, if you took out the controversial stuff, you wouldn't really need it. Like, the story would still be there without like being grew up in the bed and then like the other stuff. Like, you don't the romance story would still be there. It would
Yeah.
just have you would enjoy the show more because you wouldn't have to think about all the other stuff that
Right.
shouldn't be in.
I'm a little bit sad that they didn't rewrite it to be less controversial, because Mew and Golf had such a good chemistry. They would have completely pulled off a tamer story,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you still could have made it hot without
You
including
look at
some of the
Max and
stuff that was
Tall.
included.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think Mew and Golf could have pulled it off, and I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't. But like I said, it's probably Mame's hand in the whole thing that made them
True to the
keep it
books.
like that. Yeah. So for my rating, honestly, when I first saw it, I would rate it as a 4 that watch if you're bored. Because, like, while it was amazing when I was watching it, there was still, like, there was issues with it. So I wouldn't, like, call it, like, the best BL ever. But right now, when I'm more conscious about stuff happening and I notice things in plot holes and just the fantastical nature of it, I would put it at a meh. I have issues with putting it on a scale because I sort of kind of feel like everyone should watch it, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend it to my friends.
Right.
And what about you, Coco?
Oh no, I think like I still like it as a show, but we all know the reason why. So if Mew's there, I'm there. But I think I would give it maybe a 4. Like, watch it if you're bored. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a 3, but I think like it's a good show. Like, if the controversial stuff, like if you know about it and you don't want to see it, then don't watch. But I think if you just ignore that stuff, like put it out your mind,
Yeah.
then it's an okay show.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna watch it, just keep in mind that there's a lot of stuff in it that it doesn't represent the community, it doesn't represent gay relationships, and just
very important.
just enjoy the fantasy of it if you're gonna watch it. Because if you do that, then it's a good story and it's a good show, and Mew and Golf do amazing. So yeah.
So that is our spoiler-free segment of the show. So if you haven't seen TharnType and you want to avoid spoilers, now is the time to click out. And if you want to watch the full review later, you'll be able to find it over on our Patreon. It is going to be a Patreon exclusive for the full review.